Good morning and welcome to the review of Tomo-Chan is a Girl review once again. Now we're on episode 10. We are close towards the ending. We are super close. Now last week we had a Sweet Home Alabama moment. We had Carol and Misaki's relationship being there. And for the first time we get to see Carol, crying and all that for the very first time. For all you Carol fans out there. Now we in this episode where the rekindling friendship of Jun and Tomo's friendship is, and the backstory of how everything came up to fruition. Which, by the way, makes a whole lot of sense. And like I said, I haven't read the manga, so I don't know what's going on in the manga, in the world of the Tomo-Chan manga. But looking at from this episode, I gotta say, they might hit it off. I mean, not wait till second season, you know what I mean? But I feel like it's getting there. One way or another, it's getting there. So without further ado, let's get right to it with the review of Tomo-Chan is a Girl. Now, when it comes to rom-coms, what rom-coms have besides a beach episode? A marathon, right? We have a marathon. And then we might have a school festival episode if they go into that route as well. I mean, if they do this and that. But that's here and there. Anyway, back to what I was saying. We have a school marathon. And like always, Jun and Tomo are so competing with one another every freaking time. So we're not surprised. I wasn't surprised when they have the school marathon. They're just running. And to make it better, to make it even better, they have the little limit. Like there's the girls' limit of their miles, and then it's the guys. But we all know how Tomo is. Tomo's not going to be in past the girls round. No, she's going to run with Jun. Now, during the course of them running, she collapsed. She collapsed because she has a fever. I mean, she jogged all day, woke up naked in her bathroom, and Jun carried her. But you gotta love the visuals of Tomo when she's blushing. You gotta love it. I mean, yeah, earlier I had to go back a bit because I remember she was a little red on the side. So that gave us confirmed that she was sick. She was not feeling well. Then she walks up to the hospital and see Carol next to her as always. But Mitsuru, you gotta love Mitsuru's reaction. You gotta love Mitsuru's reaction. I mean, yeah, her best friend is Tomo. So just imagine Mitsuru all nervously, like, seeing Tomo sick. Of course her reaction would be all like, oh, please don't leave. I mean, we all know, yeah, but that's that. So, having Jun carry Tomo, she's gotten bigger. Jun getting bigger. Her body's getting bigger. That's how Jun want to say nothing. But you see that visual with Tomo and her mom in the cab? If you look closely at it, it looked like she's sitting in next to her. I mean, front of her, but then it looked like she's sitting next to her. The camera angle of the cab is just weird. Oh, and by the way, leave it to Tomo's mom. Leave it to Tomo's father is just funny, which was hilarious. Then the next day, Tomo gave back the Nintendo DS to Jun, proving that Jun is stronger than Tomo. But it's this way of them rekindling their friendship. Now, that was the first 9 minutes. But the other moments is their time in middle school. So to sum up their middle school, it's kind of like, okay, that explains so much. Because every part of the backstories of Tomo-Chan as a Girl, we get backstories of how they met, how it all started, how did Jun and Mitsuru start to go out. And I like what they did in this because they gave us more answers that it needed to be said. Because if you go back to when middle school happened, remember a few episodes then, Tomo, with that cliffhanger episode, Tomo didn't know that Jun and Mitsuru go out. They were going out for 2 days. She didn't know that. So now it's like, okay, now we got all the answers in this. So and why Jun wasn't, let me go back a bit. And how Jun didn't appreciate, didn't see Tomo for what she is. But this is how it is. So how it started was in the words of Cosmo, yay, flashback. Okay, Tomo and June was doing karate, and June finally beat Tomo. The thing is, June had no idea that Tomo was a girl. No idea. And I get it. Young Tomo is energetic, agile, quick on her feet, and those kind of things. Like to get into fights. Okay, I get all of that. He doesn't see Tomo like that because all the things that Tomo was doing so young was a guy thing. You know what I mean? So for him to see Tomo in a skirt, he's like, oh God, Tomo's a girl? Wait, so that means the moment she went to the girls' bathroom, the moment she did this and that, she's a girl? That literally is just like, wow. And that now explains so much to me because I didn't know why June sees it like that. But now June sees it like, and they just enter middle school. You know what I mean? They just enter middle school. So it's like, huh. I had no idea. So then he didn't talk to Tomo for a year. Disrespectfully though. They didn't talk to Tomo for a year. Sure they don't talk in the dojo. They can do that casually, but overall in a year, it's been a year since June hasn't talked to Tomo. And Tomo, and Tomo was like, back then she was like, okay, it's okay with this boy and girl pair. See, Tomo was okay with it. June wasn't with this boy and girl pair, and everyone gonna think like we're going out. It's just weird. Mitsu on the other hand, young Mitsu on the other hand, she didn't want to be. She like, Tomo's athletic. She got good strength. I don't know how to compete with her. I gotta figure out a way. So June and Mitsu's relationship was more like an experiment. June wants a girlfriend. Mitsu wants to be not part of it, but more like, how do I gotta do something. What can I do to break Tomo? What can I do to like, not break Tomo, but like I can't compete with Tomo. I gotta think of a new hobby. You know what I mean? In that moment, June and Mitsu decided like, hey, let's go out. Let's hang out. And for the last 2 days, which we all know they broke up for 2 days. The shit was stupid. I mean, I like how they rekindle everything that happened with them, because Mitsu brought up the flashbacks as this as well. You know, them jogging, them riding bikes, them playing, them trying to catch fish, you know, all that kind of thing. That's everything athletically. That's not what a date is. The first 2 dates was just more like physical. Not physical, more like working, physical exercise and that kind of bullshit. And we all know Mitsu is not that person. We all know that. Now, when Tomo pulling Mitsu aside and talk, you know, Mitsu smiled. Now, here's the thing when it comes to her smile. Normally, her smiles means, you know what they say, a picture's worth 1,000 words. When Mitsu smiled, we all know how she smiles. When she smiles, it could be good, it could be an evil smile, a Wednesday Addams smile. But when she actually smiled, it made a lot of sense. Like, not a lot of sense, but it's just like, that's a normal smile. Again, most of her smiles was always evil, iconic, sadistic kind of smile. But this smile that she did is so touching. Like, she smiled. Laughing and giggling, that kind of normal. The normalness. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, after a whole year, June has the courage to speak to Tomo. And Tomo laid it down. The punch in the gut, she laid it down. Overall, she's saying, I don't care what they say. We're still buds. We're still people. I mean, we're still buds. I don't care what they say. We're hanging out. We're friends. Deal with it. You know? That kind of thing. And that kind of awakened, and that's how the whole bond thing between Tomo and June is. But now that they enter in high school, June sees this like, it's kind of a wake-up call. Throughout the years with Tomo, it's kind of now he likes her now. He really, really likes her. Not like I like you, best bud. No, no, no. He is in love with Tomo. And I think what this episode did give us is more of a backstory on Jun's perspective. That's what this was. It was more on Jun's perspective, and the bond that he has with Tomo is now on the rise. And I feel, just by looking at this, I feel like with 3 episodes left, I feel like Jun is going to confess. I got this gut feeling that Jun is going to confess first. I just got this weird feeling that it's going to happen. Now, the ending. Let me get to the ending. I love this ending because this ending gave us 3 guys. These 3 guys focusing on the 3 girls of the series. You got Misaki focusing on Carol. You got Jun focusing on Tomo. And you got that other guy, I keep forgetting his name. Tatsuo, I forgot. Him focusing on Mitsu. And I love how each scenario has broken down a bit, like with Jun staring at Tomo as Tomo's sleeping. And then you got the other guy posing facials like this. With Mitsu's shadow all evil and just taped around around his face. And then you got Misaki doing these bubbly things for Carol and holding hands. But what's interesting about the ending was that these 3 guys were singing. They had their own, these same voice actors, you know, Jun, Misaki's and all that. They had their own funny ending. They were singing they were just singing the entire ending for us. It wasn't just another singer. We just had these 3 guys singing the ending, which was great. Meaning that this show is going to end it's going to end nicely with them kissing their girl or holding hands, saying I love you. Because right now, Carol and Misaki, Misaki said I love you to Carol. We're just waiting for those two. To even say I love you to. But we'll see how that goes. But anyway, this was a good episode and a very hilarious episode. Not really hilarious, but it kind of focuses on Jun's perspective and the flashback he has with Tomo, as their friendship now is not going to be their friendship anymore, but it's going to break away. Not really break away, but it's more like, instead of seeing Tomo as a friend now, he's starting to get that love for her now. That's what it is. That's what it is right now. So Jun, I hope you get the opportunity to confess first. I really want him to confess first. I don't know why, but I feel like it's gonna happen. Now again, I haven't read the manga. I don't know nothing about it. But just by looking at this, I feel like Jun is gonna make the first move. I feel like he's gonna do it. So that's all for now. Stay tuned for next week's episode of Tomo-Chan's Girl. We are almost done with this. Sad to see this show go, but we'll see where this leads to. So I look forward for next week's episode of it, and I'm sure you will.